rap and hip-hop as a whole has been divided into two halves ever since its creation, and especially in the 2010s, between people that like rap to have more lyrical contents as opposed to the other side where the music is more concentrated on the vibes and atmosphere. This battle between the two sides have devolved into calling each other names and such, with the lyrical side being called old heads and the mainstream side being called mumble rap. I think one of the most important reasons why people hate on mumble rap is because there is no easy guideline on what makes a good quote-unquote mumble rap album. And from now on, I will be calling the album that Carti just made, Hold Out Red, from now on this video, trap rap or just trap album. And there are just so many different types of trap music that are out there. So there are multiple ways that people can enjoy this type of music. There are the fans of the trap music that is made in Atlanta, where it is mostly focused on drugs and crime dealings, and as well as being the plug. Rappers of these types are Future and Chief Keef, even though he is from Chicago. They are basically the template that most rappers nowadays take and then make their own brand of trap music off of. If you listen to the music, you can expect to find the typical trap beat with the constant hi-hat and the booming 808s, with lyrics that are thematically dark, sad, nihilistic, and boastful at the same time. Another type of trap music that people listen to is the type of trap music that Young Thug makes and popularized. While it still has elements of drugs and crime dealings, the beats and lyrics are more playful and quirky, and that offsets the typical dark themes that comes along with these typical trap albums. The really important and different element that Young Thug has brought into the trap scene is the quirks that a rapper can bring into the genre, where the typical rap and trap rappers could be stuck making music in the same pattern and structure. Young Thug has brought into the genre the playfulness and the freedom that one can have with their voice and lyrics. The rapper is no longer needed to stick to the same flow and voice for a full verse. You are able to bring changes to the cadence, style, and atmosphere where you were not able to before. Now, another part of trap that people listen to is popularized by rappers like XXX, Tentacion, and Lil Pump, where the beats are more energetic and the lyrics are more repetitive, and the energy that you can feel through the music is more rebellious and noisy. A signature part of the beats are the 808s, where the bass are sometimes so distorted and overwhelming to the point where they are all that you can focus on when you listen to it. However, the energy that the rapper brings to the vocals can bring you back into the lyrics. Notably, another part of trap music that the typical trap fan listens to that I want to bring light to is the music that are made by Young Lean. A term that someone else had coined for this type of trap is called outsider trap, where the lyrical elements that you can find in this type of trap can be really different from the typical trap music, and the vibes that you can find in this type of trap is different. It is filled with more atmosphere, and the beats that you can find in this type of music are more bittersweet and minimalistic, and sometimes even electronic. So why did I just bring up all these types of music in the trap genre? Well, it is because what Carti has done with a whole lot of red is that he was able to combine all the elements that was different in the trap scene, and he was able to combine it all in this one album. The influences that you can hear from these sounds are spread out all through the album, where the opening song Rockstar Made and Punk Monk, you have Carti distorting his voice to such a level where it is no doubt influenced by the likes of Young Thug and Future, and the atmosphere and bittersweet beats that you can find in songs like Over, Die For Guy, and Sky are no doubt influenced by Young Lean. There are also songs that you can find the playfulness that Young Thug and Lil Uzi had influenced him on, like Neo Neon and Slayer. There are also songs that are filled with experiments that Carti had never done before too. Because while the songs that I had just talked about were no doubt on another level compared to the songs that were on his past albums, These songs were the conclusions of the sounds that Carti had made in his past albums. The experiments in songs like Go to the Moon, where there are numerous beat switches coming back and forth again, and now there's that song Feel Like Dying, where there is a soul sample laid underneath a trap beat, with Carti going sentimental on us. Where can you find me a song with a soul sample under a trap beat? So how was Carti able to tie all these different sounds together? There are two parts to it. You might think it is obvious, but the first thing is his voice and the attitude that he brings along with it on the beats. There is a certain attitude that stays unchanged throughout the beats and his voice, that no matter what type of beats and vibes that he tries to display in the songs, the attitude that I am talking about can be heard most clearly in New Tank, Punk Monk, Jump Out the House, and Sky. These three songs are different with the vibes that they're trying to bring, where New Tank is more aggressive, Punk Monk is more sentimental, and Jump Out the House is more fun, and Sky is more atmospheric. They are all tied together with the same attitude and grit, and you can feel all that through his voice. So the album and the sound remains unchanged throughout the different beats and cadences that Carti brings in from all his influences. Wow, it is really impressive that Carti was able to combine all these different sounds into one album. I am also really surprised that he chose this album to do that. The hype that was built up for this album was insane. The wait for this album after what many fans decided was a classic in a genre that was stylish, and the many viral leaks that were poised to be hits, like the song Pissy Pamper, where it was able to top the Spotify viral charts. So it is such a surprise to me that he chose this route and to forego what many rappers might have done and gone the route to be a mainstream rapper with the sound that he had created in Dial-It. Notably, there are a few rappers that had copied the sound in Dial-It, and specifically the Baby Boys. These rappers are Cochise, 645AR, and the freshly viral Mario Judah. While these rappers were able to recreate the Baby Boys to a certain extent, and some fans might even like this mainstream sound more, what they were not able to do were to bring in variety, cohesiveness, and attitude all at the same time that Carti had brought in the albums Dial-It and now Whole Lotta Red. Now, these rappers have not released albums yet, and what they are able to do with this sound is yet to be discovered. But certainly, what they will do is build off the template that Carti had built with Dial-It and now redefined with Whole Lotta Red, the most essential album in the new era of hip-hop.